welcome back to day 3 of your Set It and Forget It cash management system. Again, my name is Ann Lobos. I'm the owner of North Star Consulting and Tax. So I'm a CPA business owner just like you, trying to figure out how to create the business of my dreams. But I do have some accounting knowledge you might not have, so I am happy to share that knowledge with you to hopefully make your business life easier. So remember, in the last video we talked about your sales cake and how to divide that up, and recall that we have our profits, we have our owner's comp, I have a charity piece, but you probably won't have that piece, and then you've got a taxes piece of your cake and an expenses piece of your cake. And so last time we talked about how to divide that up using percentages. So if you didn't watch that video and you want to do it the more accurate way, you can go back and watch that video. But if you don't want to go back and watch the video, remember that these are the percentages that you can use. You've got profit at 1%, owner's comp at 50%, taxes at 10%, and expenses at 39%. So that we're trying to get to that total of 100% here. And we're going to divide this up. So now you've got those percentages and you're thinking, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with those? Well, what we're going to do, remember how we talked about that you get to keep using that behavior of just looking at your bank balances. We're not going to change that. We're just going to make it a little bit better. So what's going to happen is all those pieces of your sales cake, those are going to be bank accounts. And so I've got this picture that is terrible. It's a terrible picture, but this is a cake. Just to let you know, I know it looks like a hat, but it's a cake. So here's your sales cake, and this is going to be a bank account. And then what's going to happen is a couple times a month, and you'll decide on that based on what works out best for your business, but a couple times a month or once a week if you need to, you're going to move the money from your sales cake bank account and to all these other places. So you've got your profit, remember, so we're going to give profit a piece of the cake. We're going to give owner's comp a piece of the cake, taxes a piece of the cake, and then expenses a piece of the cake. Now, I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, like all those bank accounts, that's just going to overcomplicate my life. But I want you to think about how you're doing it right now, because you're probably just looking at one bank balance, big or small. Hopefully it's a big bank balance, but maybe it's a small bank balance. And you're looking at that and you're having to figure out, okay, of that balance, how much do I have available to pay myself? How much do I have available to pay my profit? Very important things. And then you also are thinking, well, how much do I have available to pay my expenses? So in your head, you're probably doing all this mental math. Maybe you're even pulling out your bank balance account to see what have I paid for so far this month. You probably have to go update your accounting system to kind of know. Well, tell me how that is more complicated than just having these 5 bank accounts that you can pull up on your phone in the morning and know exactly what you have available to pay yourself, again, most important, to have set aside for your taxes and to pay your expenses. So that's how this is going to work. Now, if you want to get super tricky, and this is a behavioral thing, and I do this in my business, and it really helps. So you can take your profit account and your taxes bank account, and you can go put those at a different bank. That's what I've got written down here, bank number 2. So that would mean that 3 of these accounts, your sales, your owner's comp, and your expenses, those are all at your bank, probably the bank you have right now. Don't do anything tricky and go start everything at a new bank. It's just just go open those up at your bank, the bank you already have. And then your profit and your taxes account are going to be at another bank. Now let me tell you what this does. This makes it so that when you pull up your bank balances on your phone, guess what? You can't see your profit bank account balance and you can't see your taxes bank account balance. Now I know that you know it's still there because we're not dumb, but just having those pulled out of your balances so that you're not tempted to borrow from them. So say you're looking at your balances and you're like, I have this expense and I don't know if I can pay for it. If you're looking at your profit and taxes bank balance every day, you're thinking, oh, I'll just borrow from my profit account. Or, oh, I'll just borrow from my taxes account. No big deal. If you have those at a different bank, you are less likely to want to do that. So I want to tell you that I have been using this system in my business almost from when I first started it. And funny thing, I'm an accountant, and I realize that I'm supposed to know exactly how to do all these numbers, gyrations. But I remember when I started my business, I was just thinking, gosh, like, if I wanted to take home this much money from my business, like, how do I know what my expenses should be? And then right at that time, I had come across the Profit First book. fell in love with it, and I'm like, this is how I'm going to know. And if I don't know what my expenses should be to get to my profit target, and I'm an accountant, I can bet that you probably don't know that either. And so that's why this system is so amazing. It's for people that are accountants, but it's also more importantly for people that are not accountants, that don't want to deal with the numbers. And for me, it's been a lifesaver. I now just, this cash management system in my business just kind of runs on autopilot. I know a couple times a month I go and I move the money around from my sales bank account to all the different bank accounts. And then I cannot have to think about it the rest of the month. So it makes it so I have more time and energy freed up to do other things. So that's how the system works. Just a little reminder, you're going to have bank accounts, 5 bank accounts. And if you want to get tricky, 2 of these bank accounts are going to be at a different bank. So you're going to have a sales bank account, a profit bank account, an owner's comp bank account, and a taxes bank account, and an expenses bank account. So in the next video, we are going to talk about what to do once you've got those bank accounts set up. So I'm going to be back on Monday because that will give you a little bit of time to get your bank accounts set up. So that the next time that you are watching this Facebook Live, you have your bank account set up and you are ready to go. So, see ya.